Hey there, everybody. Doing another knife review for you. This is of the Crkt Mount Rainier Summit Series knife. So I'm going to tell you kind of some specs and then my kind of thought on this knife. So let's just kind of look at it here. The knife itself, overall length is 7 inches. So great utility pocket, backpacking, folder knife for that length. Let's see here. Closed length when it's closed, 4 inches. The weight is 4.2 ounces, so not bad for a pocket knife. I definitely have seen lighter for this particular size, but 4 ounces, that's not too bad. Let's see here. Blade length is 2.875, so basically 3 inches for the blade, and it has kind of like a drop point, almost like Tanto looking thing. Hollow grind, they call it a modified drop point. Let's see here, 0.1 inches thick. So that's kind of the overall. You got G10 on this particular model. You can get it in different types of models, but this is the G10 model. And yeah, so I mean that's the overall. That's kind of the specs for you. So now I'm going to kind of talk about it and how I feel about this knife because I've used it for a while. My dad has one, and tell you what I think. So you can get this in straight or in serrated. This one's obviously the serrated version. Serrations are pretty good. They definitely can cut some cord, and they got a couple big ones here, so you can definitely resharpen those, which is nice. The hollow grind, I mean, this thing is wicked sharp out of the box. You can definitely, shave your hair with it. I do like this kind of. This just has a really easy to resharpen edge right here, which is good. Got some jimping here on the finger. No ramp, but on the back of the spine, basically. And what's nice is with the thumb studs, which it does not have a finger flipper or anything else. The thumb studs are really good for that. And when you're holding it right here in your hand, the thumb studs act kind of as a balance to that because it's it just kind of gives you some more support. My thumb's right there over him, so it just kind of helps your thumb, and you won't get as fatigued quickly. The jimping is leaves something to be desired. It's not very deep at all. It doesn't really do a lot. It gives you a little bit of texture there. The thumb studs almost do more for you, and the thumb studs have a much better jimping on them. So the jimping not so great. Yeah, the deployment itself is great. They did a really good job. It's just at the perfect angle. I don't even have to flick my wrist, and the action is great. I can just flick it out there, boom, which is awesome. I really, really like that aspect of it. It's one of the reasons I bought it. When it goes there. Blade play, I can feel a little bit of blade play side to side, none up and down. Side to side, just a little bit, maybe if you tightened it, and that's probably why it can flick out so fast without me, having to flick my wrist at all. I bet you if I tighten that just a little bit, the blade play would go down, but also the action, how fast it would come out. I mean, it's not for EDC blade, it's not bad blade play at all. Okay, let's kind of move on down the line here to the handle. One of the I do not like CRKTs very much. You're probably not going to see me review a lot of CRKTs on this channel. The reason being my opinion may change over time, and if CRKT does something different. But as of right now, I cannot stand their LAWK lock, which is like their extra patented lock system. And I'm going to see if I can show you here. You can see this little arm moving. Let's see. See that up and down? What it's designed to do, in this one, you push it. And that's the only reason I bought this, because most of them now are automatic. As soon as you flick it out, this thing pops open, it's spring-loaded, and it gives you this like double lock, which is fine because now I cannot move this back and forth. This is locked out, and I cannot do anything with it. The blade is not going to wiggle or move, and it will not fold on me. But it's just annoying, and for everyday tasks, sure, if I'm out there and I'm whittling and doing like survival stuff, this is great. But for just every day, I just got to flick this open and open a cardboard box, or I'm opening a packaging. Then I basically have to do a 2-move thing where I have to use this finger to move it back and then move the blade. So it's just a double action thing that I just hate, and it's just I feel is unnecessary for a knife, an EDC knife. And it makes you kind of wonder, okay, are you telling me that your liner lock is bogus and doesn't really work that well, so you had to design another like dual locking mechanism? The only reason I bought this Rainier is because, again, like I said, it's not spring-loaded. So I can use this all day long, and I don't have to do that move. And if I so desire, if I am out there and I'm like, man, I'm really hammering on this thing and working with this thing, and I'm going to have it open for a while, then I can manually deploy that little locking mechanism right here, and the liner lock isn't going to go down on me or anything like that. And then I can work for it as long as I want, and then when I'm done, I move it back into place. So that is a good feature, even though I still think that this is pointless and they shouldn't have done that. I would buy a lot more of CRKT's stuff if they didn't have this. But because they do, I don't like it. Thankfully, this is manual, and it's not bad. The handle itself, G10, like I said, good thickness. It feels actually, this is a great feeling knife in the hand. I wear large size gloves. Feels awesome in the hand. You know, it's got this little, not choil, but, you know, just I don't know, just when you're holding it, it feels great. Great thickness right there. You know, for it goes, my pinky's not falling off or anything like that, but doesn't have like a ton of extra room, you know, so it's like huge and honking. It feels amazing in the hand, and I was playing with my dad's first, and that's why I decided to order this. Yeah, then a skeletonized handle. It's got the steel liner locks. You can definitely see all the way through it, though. Steel liners with the studs in the middle of it, holding it to the supports, holding it together. The liner lock is maybe a little flimsy. I mean, for an EDC, it's okay. I've definitely had better liner locks. And if you really flick it out, it kind of wants to jam all the way over here. I think the more I'm playing with it, the less it's doing that. So I'm just going to keep playing with it for a little while. Yeah, I mean, the liner lock kind of is wanting to catch a little bit on the edge, and you know, it's just not super smooth like some other knives. So that the liner locks leaves a little something to be desired there. Not terrible. I mean, the jimping right here is great. Your thumb can definitely grab it, but it's not in the way when you're working. You know, it's not digging in your finger or anything, and it actually gives you a little bit of texturing right there to help your forefinger out. So that's the liner lock. And then the pocket clip. Pocket clip is actually seated inside the G10, so there's no way that this is going to wiggle on you or whatever. It has the 3 different screws in, and it's only tip down carry, which I don't really care for, but I bought this initially kind of for more of a backpacking, you know, just throw it in my EDC bag or whatever, you know, just as an extra backup folding knife. I don't have a lot of serrated knives, and that's kind of why I bought it, so that I had a knife with serration, and I got it at a good deal. Pocket clip is good, great retention there. Not too much sticking out right there, and it's slim. You know, it's not like really protruding like some other knives. So I mean, the pocket clip itself is doing good. It is riding up on the G10, so it will kind of tear up your pocket. My recommendation and what I've watched and learned is, if this was my everyday knife, and if I was worried about it tearing up my pants, I would just take this clip off, take a little Dremel tool or sandpaper, and just sand this down right here where the pocket clip meets the G10, and then it won't tear up your pocket as much, and then just put the clip back on. So that's the overall things. Overall, this is a great you know, budget pocket knife, EDC blade. Throw it in your pack for hiking, climbing, backpacking. Except for one thing. Okay, the handle's great. The design of the blade, the hollow grind, super sharp. This is what really holds back this knife, and I'm probably not going to hold on to it for very long. This is why. The blade is made out of 420 J2 steel. I did not know that when I bought it. I thought it was made out of the normal steel that CRKT usually uses, which is the Chinese 8 CR13 MOV. That's what I thought it was made out of, which is a great budget steel. 420 J2 steel is a terrible steel. It is the lowest of the low. It is the bottom of the bucket. Not worth hardly anything, and this is why. I did some research on that particular steel because I haven't had any knives with it before. That steel has a Rockwell hardness of 51 to 53. If you know anything about Rockwell hardness, for an EDC blade, you want at least like 56, 57 would be preferred and higher. So a 51 to 53 Rockwell hardness means this thing is going to dull very quickly, and we have discovered that. What we've discovered is that my dad, he used this for backpacking for a couple years, and he took it on a couple trips with us, different things, is this dulls after like a day of use. If you are using this for like cardboard or different things like that, you're going to have to resharpen this almost daily. Yeah, almost daily. If you're cutting through a lot of boxes, if you cut through, I'd say 20 cardboard boxes, this thing is going to be almost useless, and you're going to have to resharpen it. If you're doing any sort of whittling, you're going to have to resharpen it after maybe a night at the campsite. You're going to have to resharpen this because it's such a soft steel. Now, the only plus side to that steel is that it's super easy to resharpen. There's not an easier steel to resharpen. This will take like 2 minutes for you to resharpen this thing, or run it through, you know, one of the little V cutters or whatever, and you can get this razor sharp again very, very quickly. It just means that you got to maintain it constantly. The other plus is that it's extremely rust resistant and not able to chip. This thing will not chip. They use this steel a lot for diving knives, and because of like literally, it's impossible to get this steel to rust, and because it doesn't chip. So the only downside is the constant resharpening you're gonna have to do with this particular type of steel, which is just so sad, because aside from that, this is a great EDC knife. This is a great hiking backpacking knife. Great size, great handle, feels awesome. The fact that the lock mechanism is manual here instead of automatic. I mean, all those things are great. It's just the steel is just such low quality that you're going to have to constantly maintain this thing. You're going to get it super sharp, but like after a day of hard use, it's going to have to be resharpened again, which is so sad to me. I mean, hey, if you live in a place where there's lots of humidity and you want something that can be super easily sharpened, you want to practice resharpening, great knife to have, because you're going to have to resharpen it constantly. And it's going to take an edge really easy. So, I mean, pluses and minuses, but man, I mean, just why didn't they upgrade? I'll pay another $5 for them, excuse me, to upgrade to a better Chinese steel. I mean, it's Chinese made, and it's just the lowest of the low. Cannot get a lower quality steel than what you're looking at right there, which is so sad to me. But it won't rust on you. If you live in a humid area, or you're like maybe on a boat a lot and you want a pocket knife, go with this. But aside from that, I mean, or you're just not that worried about it and you just have a little sharpener with you all the time, cool. But yeah, really disappointed with the quality of steel that CRKT chose. Aside from that, great knife. You make your call whether or not you want to buy the CRKT Mount Rainier. So that's my review. Hopefully this helps you out a little bit, warns you a little bit, and just makes me really sad. So stay equipped and stay prepared, and I'll see you guys out there.